What's up? Welcome back to the worm. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing a custom purple jacket and I have matching custom purple bibs. Does that come across? I don't know. I didn't show these at the end of the video with my cousin and his kid here because they weren't quite dry yet. Maybe it's because I put all that salt in with the dye. I don't know. You were there. I thought it was only these that were kind of purple, but if you see them next to my chainsaw pants that were also once black, you can really tell they've got some bizarro hue to them. But hey, what are you gonna do? Well, I'll tell you what you do is sometime in the future, I'm gonna dye it again and put like 4 times as much dye in the tub. Not because it needs to be done, just because I'm curious. So we've got a pretty strange to-do list today. Today it's a high in the high 60s, this weird cloudy overcast, a lot of rain last night, which is great because one of the things I need to do is, as I've been trenching to try to get my, oh yeah, the mosquitoes are thick right now too. As I've been trenching, I've been dragging everything back, throwing it in that one area where the parking lot's gonna go, and it's just getting to be mound. So the digger's still down there. Maybe we can use that to pick up some of this brush, put it in the trailer, bring it up here. You guys you don't have to watch me burn it all. Now that it's sunny and warm, and I've got water in my shower tank over there, it needs to have a tarp back on it. You guys know it always like sags into the top of the water tank. The water tower up there collects all sorts of stuff, breeds mosquitoes. So this is the year that I need to build something on the top of those water tanks to kind of hold the tarp up. I guess the best thing to do is to sew a canvas top for it. We're not going to do that. Oh yeah, one other thing. I had a horrible night's sleep last night. Stay right here, I'll show you. Actually, I haven't even looked at it in the daylight yet. It was supposed to start raining, like an 8 or 10 hour rainstorm last night, right when I was falling asleep. You're in that in-between sleep-awake space, and I'm hearing the rain, and I'm like, something sounds weird about it. It seems too close. And then I'm falling a little bit more asleep, and there's like a boom hiss. So when you're laying on it, this whole thing is slowly delaminating, just going, and I thought it sounded like rain to me. And then I think I rolled over, and a whole bunch of it popped off all at once. So I don't know. We'll see if Thermarest will replace that. Probably not, because I've had it for a few years. Luckily, I've got my old one, I think is in the deer castle, so we'll go switch these out too. Tell you what, it was very uncomfortable to sleep on that. You can see it, you can imagine. You might also notice that it just got really lush here. It seems to happen overnight every year. Yeah, in order to keep the ticks from jumping on us, I gotta weed whack all this stuff down. But it's fun, and we might have a little bit of sun this afternoon. My batteries are all freaking dead, my jackeries. Anyway, just, you know, hang out if you want. We'll do some strange stuff. Okay, what order do we need to do this all in? Let's look at the water tower just real quick like. Oh, that's wonderful. I left the tarp out here. Oh yeah, you can still see the muck line on top of that, where it sits down on top of there. So I got this thing about 1/3 of the way full. And when the sun gets over here, it does hit it, and it will definitely ruin my water, even though it's got a little bit of bleach in it. But as we all know, bleach gets, what's the word, disusable, disaffective, disassociated. It doesn't work as well when it gets UV sunlight. So that tank's gonna start growing soon. I'm thinking what we need are some like arcs up there of some sort, and then maybe some cross pieces to like pin them together. We'll get it figured out somehow, and we will do it in the next 3 days. I just picked a number. I just remembered the whole point of this video. I want to try making chainsaw holders out of logs that bolt on here. Of course, if it works, you guys already know that because it's probably in the thumbnail of the video. But at this point, I don't know if it'll work. As soon as we switch the pad out, get a load of burnables, we'll try doing some plunge cuts and see what we can put together. Just gonna get all freaking muddy. Piper, come. Look at that. There's water sitting right on top, which is weird. But geez, look at that. Look how dry that got. Whoa. That scared the crap out of me. Was that a woodpecker on my metal sign? Yep. Sure it was. Oh my god, that scared me. Right there, trying to pop a hole in it. Never had that happen before. Wow, that was a crazy sound. Well, it looks like overall this is doing pretty well. I think the water's still sitting on there because that top layer, all that lighter stuff is clay. At some point, I might have to get, just put, I don't know, maybe put a layer of fill dirt on there or something. Now that I think of it, I think this is now garbage. Well, I don't have space in my garbage can. Nothing else, it makes a good storage unit. Yeah, this might be the day of the year with the most clothing changes. An hour ago I was freezing. Now I'm sweating, and I hate when the tucked shirt won't stay tucked in because the, what do they call those? The flapulettes? They're not long enough. Checked it out yesterday, all that muck was nice and dry. I bet it's not anymore. I already can't remember if this is in the videos or not. I've decided to cut a whole bunch of them out. I guess not a whole lot of whole videos, but a whole bunch of days and weeks of clips, because it's just the same thing over and over, sitting on the digger, digging trenches, moving rocks around and whatnot. So maybe you've already seen this, maybe you haven't. Bought whole bunches of the muck out of the trenches. I didn't know what to do with it. I'd just been dumping it here and kind of smearing it out. So it's a way to get rid of some of this garbage. So I'm thinking eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to get my car and trailer down here, down the main trail, make the turn into here, and then, I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly how this is going to work or where it's going to be. I certainly don't want to make this little parking area any bigger than it has to be. But everything to just be able to get my four-wheeler back in here has just been shoved aside. Piles of branches, roots, whole root balls. Yeah, it's a real garbage heap, and I don't like it. Even got some extra here to flatten out whenever I have the time. And yeah, look at all this stuff. And if we ever find use for it, we've got a couple more rocks. And still plenty more to come. Darn, you know, I just made that rock pile a few days ago too. I can't make the turn with the four-wheeler in here, and it's really not going to be too nice to have to keep going in, backing up, coming out, backing up. Let's make some kind of a turnaround in here. Maybe right here. Oh man, look at the size of that root ball. Right there would be good. There's a huge hole. Okay, just for once, let's think longer term than just this minute. It would be a pain to move these rocks, but it's not the biggest deal. And this turnaround will probably be here forever. Oh, this tree right here is actually completely dead. Knock that out. Knock those dead stumps down. That would make the most sense. And since the digger's already here, it won't be a big deal to grade down that muck pile there. I think I'm gonna have to rip out the old ATV bridge. If it wasn't for that, I could drive the digger here, get all these wet logs out of here, dig all this crap out of here, and then take it right back down. But because that bridge won't hold it, we gotta sweat. All right, we got it rolling. Just excuse me for a few minutes. I gotta mow down some green, if you know what I mean. That's what the cool kids call it. I don't know. We're not going to go too crazy, but we'll just hit the high-tech areas. Pretty good for 18-volt Ryobi, huh? I know this is a dumb question because the answer has to be yes, but do all of you marvel at energy density? I know, me too. Those batteries, lithium batteries, still blow my mind. Like, how much work is in that little thing? Look at that, the battery just died. All of that. It is amazing that all of that can get trummed by one of these little batteries. Oh, and especially because it's not the super expensive brand of power tools. But just think of how much work that is if you had to do that by hand. All of the sweat and calories and muscle breakdown and everything that's in that little tiny box. I know you think about it all the time. I'll stop. I don't like to make videos that are identical to the inside of your head. Oh yeah, there's actually one other reason I was making this video. Well, not reason, but something I want to put in here. I actually have no idea if I'm really seriously considering building a houseboat and floating down the Mississippi River. I just like talking about that stuff with cousin Matt, and the ideas for all the trips I've done in my whole life, including this trip here to Ringworm, just to camp out in the forest as long as it's fun, just come from things like that. Idea pops into your head, I go like, oh, would that be fun to do? Well, how would you do it? It's usually like a 1 hour thinking session, and then I'm like, yep, gotta do that. I mean, I'm still having a lot of fun out here, but at some point I wonder if the fun level of doing a houseboat trip, like a 3-month float down a river and, you know, a complete houseboat build, probably out here, will just edge out, I mean, realistically kind of doing the same thing at the Worm. I do think it'd be super fun if I could get like a 20-something foot old jankety pontoon boat, rip the whole top off, build sort of that on it. You have to have some kind of a roof on it that you could hang out on as you're floating. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to, I considered cutting it out of the video with my cousin and his son here, but since you guys know I'm a little bit nuts and the camera was rolling, I thought, I don't know, 1 or 2 of you would like to see the brainstorming session. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know if we get close to doing that. Oh crap. Both my workbenches are tied up. The digger's way down there, and the reason I paused clearing out the parking area is I hate picking up stuff. You know, you cut down trees and limbs and everything. You pick it up, you put it in the trailer, bring it up, take it out of the trailer, put it on the ground, then pick it up. I don't like having to pick everything up 2 or 3 times. So the trailer's just sitting there with brush in it. I guess we'll unload it. Urgh. Because I certainly don't believe in using sawhorses if you've got some beautiful new workbenches. Always use a face shield when you're doing anything like this with branches. The easiest way to lose an eyeball. Still got to finish this workbench sometime so it can be left out in the rain and snow and whatnot, not get unflattened. Wow, it is very unflattened already, but it was stickered and covered for like a year. Huh, I thought it was dried out. Now it's got a huge cup in it. Oh well. I'm not sure. Oh, you know, I was gonna say, what did I cut these 3 boards up for? It was this, like a while back, and I just never got it finished. These are the 1-inch pine boards. I have a whole stack of them that I've been trying to find a use for. I think they were from that giant tree that we cut. It was like one of the first things towards the kitchen out there. And when I made that huge stack of like 2x material, get down to the last, you know, slice of the log and there's not much left there, so I just rip it into 1-inch boards. And the reason I haven't used it for anything is, I don't know if you can see, but it had so much sap. Like when these are stacked like this, you can just see drips, hundreds of drips coming out of them. But they've sat there long enough now that the sap's, it's still pretty sticky. But we don't care, it's going on top of a water tower. Now, how exactly did I have this thought out? Maybe if we carry one of these boards up the ladder, it'll all come back to us. So I think I was gonna do something like this and carve that into like an arc. And then I've got a whole bunch of little like nailer strips that I think I used on the gazebo. Remember we put all that screen all the way around the outside and then stripped the edges of the screen. And nailed it all in just to... She found this on the web. Every time I try to fix my screen door, my screens get ripped. What is going on in this world? Anyway, I think I still have a stack of those nailers. So we could just run them all back and forth across there somehow. Looks like the boards are already cut to length, so the inside is 38 inches. Angle grinder has got to be one of the most useful tools on the planet. But you don't know what you need it for till you got it, and then you can't do without it. Yeah, that's a lot of sap. Couldn't even push the saw across the board. See all that garbage on the table? I think I have some lingering trauma from the couple times when Kuiper was a puppy, he ran away. I just all of a sudden realized I haven't seen him in like half an hour. He's not in his normal spots. See the indent, the Kuiper-shaped indent there? And under the table? Pulled out my phone to look at my map, and I got hit in the foot with a rock. I'm pretty sure I know where he is. You comfy, buddy? And that guy's gonna be in like low power mode for about 6 months out of the year. Luckily, they're the same 6 months that I struggle with. I think we're just gonna have to take spring, summer, fall off, and then we'll get a lot done right in the middle of winter. I just found this on the ground. I think this is the chunk of webbing when we taught Kuiper the very first time to wear a pulling harness, because right next to it was a little bundle of sticks. I think we could use this to make our curve. Man, that orbital mode's good, isn't it? Chainsaw, circular saw, router, jigsaw. Which tool do we want to use the most just to use it? I think we should try the router. That'll do. I think that's alright if we have it stick up just a little bit. Because these are chainsaw made, so they're not all exactly the same size. I think that'll be okay. Maybe we'll route a little on the edge there just so it doesn't wear the tarp. Oh, gotta get that. Oh, that sap is liquefying in the sun. Can't do any of this work without a lot of rubbing alcohol. Shoosh. One of these is not like the other. Huh, it actually kind of looks like a thing once you get it all together. I didn't know if it was gonna look like garbage or what. Dang, I guess I meant to route these in case it sags in a little bit. And this definitely needs to be really hacked down. Let's go grinder. Actually, let's do both. We can probably route in here and then we can just grind the crap out of that. Could definitely router this edge, but I feel almost positive that I'll end up hitting one of those screws. Wow, I thought with these little toothpicks on here, this wasn't going to be rigid enough to put up in one piece. Hey, where are you going with my scraps? Doesn't fit, doesn't fit. Nope, yep. Just right to the bend there, so I can't go anywhere. Wow, that's great. Still gonna get water collecting in some of these, I'm sure, but it can't be much. I guess I don't have to cover the bottom one since I never really use it. I guess this will be the water tower for the kitchen. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. When I pull this one out, we'll have to do a practice water tower right here to hold this thing up. That's gonna be interesting. I feel like the kitchen should be like, I don't know, I shouldn't say a number, like 20 feet up. It would be so sweet to have like good pressure water. And if we got good enough pressure, put in one of those pull out things that you like spray the sink down with. If it's long enough, you could kind of clean the whole outdoor kitchen with it. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I have the skills to do like 4 feet straight up, strong enough that it's not gonna tip over in a 50-mile-an-hour wind, but we could top a tree. That's what we should do. Just like I built the sky deck. We use the tree stand, get up there as high as we can, top it, build a platform, figure out some cool way to use the excavator to get this up there. Do you know anybody else that has so many ideas that just can't get any of it done? At least that's what it feels like. You know why I'm stuck with more ideas than the average person? Because I don't throw out the dumb ones. The dumber it is, the more fun it sounds like to actually do. Perfect. Now, give it a week, there won't be a single mosquito out here. You watch. Well, yeah, you can see there's some shape to it now. That's definitely better, at least as long as that tarp holds out. I bet we'll get another year out of it. Man, it is nice to have people come visit here every now and then. Because when you got guests, you can get junk food, and I try to get a lot so it's left over. Cold Coke is really good sometimes. Alright, the only thing I can't figure out is if I do a plunge cut in there, I'd like to trim away everything around it, but I don't know how you figure where the bar is in there. I mean, you could sight this way and do it alright, but how do you keep it from like angling that way or knowing where it is? You're not very good at this game. Are you tired already? Just let it bounce off your gums gently. He gets tired easily. 2 minutes was enough for him. Till later. Go take a nap. If you see somebody do something like this and you want to try it yourself, if you don't know how to plunge cut, this is a very dangerous thing to do. One thing you always got to look out for with chainsaws is kickback. So if you just started up and stuck it in like this, the thing would just rock right back and, you know, remove a little flesh on one side or the other, split you right down the middle. And no, I'm not teaching you how to do this. Don't do this. It's stupid. It's dangerous. It's horrible. But if you did try it, you always have to start like this, start cutting in, and then the further you get in, you can start tipping it up and kind of keeping downward pressure. Once the whole tip is captive in there, it can't kick back anymore. I mean, I guess it can push you straight back out, but it's always this motion and then slowly pick it up. This is a full chisel chain, which is quite kickbacky. It has a lot of good bite, so this might be a problem. I don't know, we'll try it. Maybe we'll have to put a different chain on here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Yeah, that was no problem at all. A lot of skippy here until it got going in there. I don't know, I think that was pretty straight. Well, it's not a hugely oversized log, so maybe we don't have to trim much off the top or bottom the way it sits here. Just trim the sides down flat. Might have gone a little bit left in the log. You know what we do is we just cut it off so that we can see the other end of it. It doesn't really matter if the bottom bar tip bar, the end sticks out when it's hanging on the ATV or something, I don't think. So the end's about there. Yeah, maybe we just do it right there. It just crossed my mind that I might not even really have explained what this is for. I think I did in a previous video, but I don't know if I said it just now. I just have to carry my saw like this, which is fine. It straps on well there, it stays there. But I'd like to free up the front of this to strap other tools and whatnot on, especially now that I have the doggy back seat there. I can't get to that rack. And I use these all the time, like to put my tripod in there or my log sticker. Yeah, maybe this saw holder can go right here somehow. Maybe just a board across there that holds the upright. Oh yeah, we got to worry about that. As usual, I didn't think this out before I started. Doesn't matter. Because I'd like one on there, and I'd mostly like one like right here. And that'd be, I think, quite easy to somehow bolt it on here. I looked at buying 1 or 2 or 3 of these chainsaw holders, and I just didn't think any of the designs were that great. I don't want to have to put it in there and then tighten something down, because I mean the number of times I put a saw on and off the trailer or the four-wheeler is just crazy. And I think I saw 1 or 2 brands that seemed like they might work, but I want one of these at very least for the trailer and one for the excavator, and then we'll see if we can make one fit on the four-wheeler. That'd be great too. I just didn't want to throw down like hundreds of dollars for these one. You might be able to just plunge cut a log and make it work. Not quite. Oh yeah, that is the bar tip right there. Oh, that's kind of perfect. Maybe we'll cut like 1 more inch off just so we can really figure out how it sat in there. A couple inches on each side maybe. What the heck? Why did that just die? No, this is my saw that always works. Well, that's why you have more than one saw. I don't really feel like screwing with it right now. See how much work that is to take that off of there? No, that's no good. Just doing that to mark the other side there. Might kind of look cool to leave the, we'll peel the bark off here, but we could leave that edge on there. All right, I'm gonna sell them for $250 a piece. This is what you get right here. Good peeling day. Look at that. I probably could trim it down a bit more, thin the thing up. I don't know. It's not like it weighs that much. It's like a couple pounds. I don't think it's gonna matter. I think that's cedar. Wow, it's a lot easier to route dry wood. That is something. Let's see, that's the bottom. Cool if it fit in there. I guess, we can make it fit. Hey, that's all right, except for the little dings where I did the plunge. But this thing's gonna get all messed up with the chainsaw anyway, so that's good. Jeez, that'll do. Well, how hard was that? That was far easier than I imagined it would be. Now we just gotta make one more and see how we can fit it on the digger. I guess we could run down there and have a look. See what's even possible. Probably gonna have to drill some holes through the metal. Well, let's look. Didn't even fall off on the drive. What do you know? Since I haven't used this in the summer, I don't have any idea if this is gonna overheat, which apparently is a problem with these. I think if you spend a couple more bucks, or maybe you just get lucky, there's like a fan right here that sucks all the hot air out, so we probably don't want to block that. The problem with doing it back here is I'm constantly pulling up really close to the back of the trailer, putting stuff in here, turning the thing around, and this just like skims by the trailer to get really close. So I'm a little afraid I might knock the thing off. Wow, there's just no space on this thing. If I hadn't just put those lights on there, that would be kind of a cool spot. Yeah, I don't know if it'd get in the way. Jeez. Digger's just too small, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, folks? I guess that's probably the most reasonable spot. Well, might as well get another load of brush while we're passing through. When it's really quiet and he's out in the woods like that. Hear a little crunching and crackling, kind of feel like I'm being stalked by a bear or something. Oh, bunch of dirt right down the shirt. I made it right down to my belt buckle. Ugh. It finally happened. I thought this fell off the four-wheeler. See, this is why we need chainsaw holders, so I have those front gun tool forks up there. If the front's full, sometimes I just throw this on the dog seat. Anyway, I thought it was missing when I went to fill up one more wagon. Melted the crap out of it. Wow, it smells bad. The whole front just got cooked. It didn't get in the fire, so maybe when it cools down, it'll still be usable. Oh yeah, that eats up some of my workspace slideability. Well, I guess we'll move it forward. I also noticed, for some reason, this doesn't slide very well anymore. Saw this years ago at a thrift store for like, I don't know, super cheap. That's a lot of wax. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with it. Maybe I've just been kind of waiting for this. Think that'll do anything? It's probably a little excessive. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a problem. I could be able to work on this. It's going to be sliding away. Oh my gosh, what a mess. What I really needed was probably like a little paintbrush full, not half a candle. Oh well. You know, the reason it doesn't slide is probably because I've bent these so many times. Like that time I hooked Kuiper up to it and he ran away and ripped the whole thing right out. Not the first time these have been lightly rearranged. Sure is easy to put those on and off and move them. Let's see, is that, no, we want that rot spot kind of up and down. Not again. What is going on? Problem is, I have to do this plunge with this saw because this is the longer of the two bars. If I use the little one, this won't fit in there later. It's a pretty black plug. I don't know, the electrode looks fine. Try a new one. This is embarrassing. This is the stuff you shouldn't put in your videos. Look at the difference in those plugs. I just run these things, I don't know, as long as they keep going, I don't mess with them. But that plug, I don't know, maybe it's been in there the whole time. It's probably not the problem, but can't hurt to switch it out. God, this saw has so many hours on it. It's unreal. Being that I built all the buildings out here with this thing as a milling saw, never cleaned like the inside of it or anything. I just knock the air filter out every, I'm not telling you how often. I'm not very good at this whole chainsaw ownership thing. What was I saying? Oh, it's not that much taller. I think we could do this. That'll do it. How many saws does it take to cut up one piece of firewood? That thing has got some grab to it. Yeah, look at that. That's not a normal milling chain right there. Jeez. Don't usually do cuts with the grain, long cuts with the grain and that kind of chain. Pretty handy to be able to bring your whole workshop wherever you want. It was kind of the whole reason for building these two mobile workbenches. If ever you can't figure out what the right tool is, just use a chainsaw. Yep, too much wax. The whole tabletop just slid off. But I learned something. I get it, if you don't know chainsaws, this might make no sense, but a full chisel chain, when you're cutting, the teeth are like, it's a square cut. Semi-chisel is sort of more rounded. When you're trying to like brush a log like this, that rounded chain lets you just ride over the top really easily. Square chain, it can like really cut in, just dive as you're going back and forth. You have to hold all the weight up and just kind of let it chatter. But I just thought, would it make more sense if as you're going back and forth, you're doing this and then tipping back? And it totally works. I'll keep the same lift, like upward pressure on this both ways, and we'll see if you can actually see a difference. Yep, do you see that way and that way? It just stops. It's a little more like you're doing a dance, but that's a world of difference. Instead of so much better than having to change the chain out just to do this. You can even go quite slow, like almost as slow as you want, and keep it moving, which you can't do if you just go vertical. If you slow down, it'll just stop and cut right in. Now, I wish I'd used a better piece of wood. Dang. Hopefully this summer, we're gonna get Sarah to repaint this whole thing. I've been working on my iPad trying to find the right like dragon, dinosaur picture painting in order to transfer it onto the whole machine. Maybe it'll be an outer space dinosaur and this can be like the backpack air tank kind of thing. But we'll definitely let it dry and then have to prime it and do it all together. Yeah, that's pretty good. Man, we like this weather. It feels like it's gonna rain all day, but there's like 2% chance. If only winter was right around the corner, we wouldn't mind that at all. Well, got most of the blatant firewood out of this area right here. It's still a bunch of like downed trees and stuff in there that I'll have to dig out. And man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to dig these stumps out. It'd take me all day. Well, it only needs to be wide enough to get the four-wheeler through here. We're not trying to make a new road or anything. Let's rip into it. We'll make a path here. know what the problem with this place is? It's the woods. Mostly on days that you're trying to clean up brush and down trees and stuff, because there's no end to how much you can pick up. It's like every load of wood I pick up, I have to justify to myself why I'm doing it. This is outside of the radius I was trying to clean up, but I have the digger right here so I can pick this stuff up and put it in. We just got to do it. All right, you guys can go. As usual, I'll finish up here. Probably gonna take me a couple more days, and if we don't get any more rain, it's already starting to get dry in like one day. So I'll get rid of however much brush I can. You're fine. Oh, you might want to come back next week. I think this will be the weirdest surviving ringworm video you will ever see. I guarantee you can't guess what it is. It's like this, whatever that means. You'll see Sarah, but sadly you won't see Kuiper. Yeah, you definitely won't see this one coming. All right, make yourself a chainsaw holder. It's easy, apparently. Thanks for watching. See ya.